pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice
for all. For the past decade, marriage equality has been an ongoing debate in the United States. Religious organizations, financial affiliations, and many other groups have become involved in this dispute. Many citizens question same-sex marriage simply because it is something that is unfamiliar to them. With the rise of a new generation, however, these viewpoints are beginning to change.
There is a wider range of families and there's a wider range of people in the United States. So I think it does represent a real change in terms of a greater acceptance or acknowledgement that there really is more than one type of living arrangement out there, more than one type of family out there.
Meet John Sullivan and Chris McCary, the very first same-sex couple to be legally married in Provincetown, Massachusetts in 2004. The couple has maintained a comfortable, stable lifestyle, just like any of the millions of other couples across the nation.
I was out for my birthday on a weekend, so it was in February of 1999. And I hadn't really been out, and I was at a club in Birmingham. It was called The Station, and that was where we met.
The relationship between Chris and I had matured to a place where, it wasn't merely a passing thing. It wasn't. It extended beyond anything physical. It extended beyond anything, passing or trivial or frivolous. It was the stuff that was made of that lasts for the rest of a person's life. We weren't really putting the type of weight and gravity into getting married. This was something we were going to do for ourselves. This wasn't something that we had planned on being something that would affect so many other people.
I just remember looking over and seeing the line of cameras, and I thought, well, we're going to have lots of pictures.
Well, they had a photographer from People magazine follow us the whole time throughout the day. And they sent us a DVD of all the pictures, so we got a free wedding photographer.
Because same-sex marriage is not yet legal in the state of Alabama, their marriage continues to go unrecognized by the government.
Yeah, what do you put up if you go somewhere on an application and it has married or single? What do we put? Okay, we're lying if we put single, but then if you put married, they want your spouse's name, so you have to put that down.
It really comes down to matters of faith. That there are people that want to go ahead and blur the lines between a civil contract and a religious right. We are legally married. Does Alabama recognize that legal marriage right now? No. Do we believe that Alabama will, maybe kicking and screaming, be brought to a place where that marriage license is legally recognized? Yes.
Yes.
And we hope that it's soon.
As time goes on, those opposed to same-sex marriage proclaim that marriage has always been defined as a union between a man and a woman. This idea, however, is derived from the Bible, which leaves many same-sex marriage advocates questioning the separation of church and state that has existed in the United States for centuries. Former pastor Bert Olschig has witnessed firsthand how vastly controversial this topic can be.
One of the things that had bothered our church was same-gender marriage. And I had frankly been opposed to it, even adamantly opposed to it. I thought that marriage was of a man and a woman as defined in our Lutheran hymnal and doctrine. The Lutheran Church, ELCA, Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, had proposed and passed through their conferences that same-gendered couples would be able to serve as clergy to churches within the Lutheran Synod that call them. And I was going up to the microphone to speak against it, and I spoke for it. And it just dawned on me that it made more sense.
After voicing his opinion on the topic, the church decided to take a vote deciding the fate of Mr. Olschig's position. Before this could take place, however, he resigned from the church, taking with him a newfound outlook on same-sex marriage.
I believe the Spirit said, try this. And it came in a gentle, loving, like I say, just freeing way that smelled and tasted and felt so good that, hey, this is, I just feel the presence of God here. God was love before creation, and God was love far before gender. Expression of love between beings, to me, is primary to what their gender is. And it still comes back, if I look at the other side, if I look to go to the, essentially a condemnation, it doesn't work.
While many people see marriage as a privilege, our legal system has transformed it into a requirement for same-sex couples that are looking to obtain the same benefits and financial advantages that heterosexual couples can receive. It has become much more than just a means of happiness for citizens in the United States.
Don't Ask, Don't Tell will soon be relegated to the dustbin of history, and a stain on our nation will be lifted forever. Today, America lived up to its highest ideals of freedom and equality when the Senate voted to move our national security and our country forward. Today, the federal government recognized that all men and women have the right to openly serve the country they believe in, that it doesn't matter who you are or who you love, you are not a second-class citizen any longer.
With the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell in 2010, the effort to legalize same-sex marriage has gained much more attention, not only in the United States, but around the world as well. During the summer of 2012, Chick-fil-A became the focus of the media when Dan Cathy, the president of the corporation, expressed his religious viewpoints regarding the subject. Because of the publicity, both positive and negative, August 1st, 2012 was named Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day. In response to this, crowds gathered again in front of the chains for a same-sex kiss day. Regardless of the effects, these events have put heavy concentration on the issue of same-sex marriage.
The only way to get the rights that married couples have is to go for marriage equality. And I think, and I'm glad to say, I believe people are coming around to see it.
Legalizing same-sex marriage is a huge step in the never-ending movement for human rights. However, it is up to our nation's leader to ensure that millions of same-sex couples are offered the same privileges, opportunities, and happiness as heterosexual couples. Doing so would prove to the world that the United States is a government that believes in the principles upon which it was founded, that it is a country established with liberty and justice for all.